this is going to sound horrible, I know, but if you're listening to, I don't know the name of the song, but it doesn't even have to be the words. It's just like Steve Perry. I don't understand the words that when Steve Perry sings it, much less this guy. So I'm just, you're just making these sounds here.
I kind of want to pause.
It meant absolutely nothing to me.
I want to pause and play a clip of the old Journey and then the new Journey.
By all means.
And then you tell us what you think, or I'm looking at the monitor instead of the camera. You tell us what you think. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Aloha Pools and Spas Deep Dive Podcast. I don't know why I'm so animated and excited today.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was doing that too.
It's Monday, and I'm hyped. I feel good.
We've got a special guest here today.
We do. Tell us who we have. I'm John. This is Brad, and who do we have?
My niece, Kimo Davidson. I always call her Kimo Cook, but it's
so does
we had Doug
a lot
on.
of people.
Yeah, not long ago.
We had Doug on, and I don't know when this Doug airs versus when Kimo airs, but Doug is the father of Kimo.
Okay.
And Kimo has been here for how long?
23 years.
23 years.
I started in 2003.
Is that off and on? Because
I
you
took
had a little
a
stint.
4-year and 4-month hiatus when I had Trip.
Okay.
So I started 23 years ago. During that 4-year hiatus, I moonlighted a few times for sales.
Right.
You know, special sales, but it wasn't a regular thing at all.
So when did you first start working here?
2003.
And so how old were you? You must have been like
18.
9.
Yeah, about 4.
Right.
4.
So you were 18 years old.
I was 18. Now, I'd had a few gigs with Aloha prior to that as a child on a couple commercials.
Okay. All right.
I had 3 lines on a commercial one time.
Did you?
I did. It was pools are, and it was cool. And then pools are fun.
Oh.
Pools are great. That was my
Did you say fun, cool, and great?
fun, cool, and great. I said 3 words.
Oh, you nailed it just then.
I did.
Like you,
I know.
You remember that?
Still
Did you
got it.
rehearse those before you came in this morning?
Yeah, I thought about it all morning.
Wow.
So we jumped off diving boards, had a camera crew following us around as children, that kind of stuff. So that, I guess that was my first Aloha. Whenever did a couple of boat shows as a kid, worked some boat shows.
Is that over in Jackson?
Yep. And stood out by the road in a Hawaiian get up one time doing this as a child. But besides that, I started.
Put you through a lot.
I know. It's like hazing.
Right. I have a shark costume.
If anybody wonders why Kimo is the way she is,
Yeah.
I think we had something to do with it, right?
Crap to have sat with a pantyhose doll at a boat show in a hot tub.
I'm afraid you might have.
I did.
Yeah.
I did some weird things growing up, but officially started in about April of 2003.
And so you were 18, and that means you had just graduated?
I was just finishing up my first year of college.
Okay.
When I started, I was about to complete my first year, and then.
What'd you go to college for?
What's that?
What did you go to college?
I was supposed to be a doctor.
Oh.
I was going to be. I was pre-med. And then I switched it to psychology.
Okay.
And so I've been using that here at Aloha for the whole entire time.
Counseling other
here.
workers,
Right.
selling, dealing with her own issues because of what we put her through.
Yeah.
Right. All of that.
But yeah, 2003. And I started in water test.
Okay. Yeah, what was
So-
going there.
Okay.
So you kind of that doctor, the chemistry, that's kind of
Yeah.
the doctorate in water, so to
It
speak.
is. And I hated chemistry in college so much that I got into
Right.
it for a job.
For a job.
And then I think I could go back and do better in chemistry now that I understand it a little bit more, actually. I'd like to go back to Martin and take that again.
There's just absolutely no way. Love nor money could make me do that.
I took it at Vanderbilt, too. And I only took lab there, though.
Right.
Chemistry lab. And then I had to come back and take the whole class at Martin. And
But Kimo has always been, I guess a couple years into that, then she was our kind of resident go-to on any water concern that was just above the normal well, you need to balance your pH, and all the obvious things. Anytime anything ever got into all of this checks out, what's wrong now? Still something wrong. She's always been really good at that. I guess because
I still can do that. So
yeah. Oh no, I would think.
I still have the brain for that. Surprisingly.
Yeah. And she's, used to sit in her sales office, and anytime she would hear, which was right behind the water testing counter, anytime she could hear anything going on, she could step in and kind of snuff out anything like that took care of her customers and Aloha customers.
I have a bit of a shift of a question here.
Okay.
I'm shifting gears a little bit. It's Kimo.
Correct.
Oh. Is that short for something?
No. It is Kimo.
What's the story behind your name?
So there's
It's a very unique name.
I'm glad you asked, because I've been telling people this my whole life, and my dad will ask me regularly, "Have you told the Kimo story lately?"
Right.
So
it's a great story.
My parents went to Hawaii on their honeymoon, and they ate at a restaurant in Maui called Kimo's. This is 2 years prior to me being born, but my dad decided that he loved the name, and if he ever had a child, he wanted to name her Kimo if it was a girl. But Kimo is actually a man's name.
Okay.
But he didn't know that at the time. So when I was being born, they didn't know if I was going to be a boy or a girl. So I was going to be either Doug Jr. or Kimo. So he calls the restaurant when he finds out I'm a girl when I make my appearance. And they said it means James or Jim. And he was going to make sure it didn't mean he said devil worshiper or something
right,
like
something
that.
crazy.
Right.
And so he named me Kimo. But my mom wasn't 100% sold that we were going to stick to this. So my first name is Jean Allison. But I've been called Kimo since the day I was born.
Well, your first and middle name,
It is.
It's two, right? I mean,
It's
Jean
two names.
and
It's Jean and
right.
Allison. But I've gone by Jean Allison Kimo Cook
Right.
my whole life. But my mom thought this Kimo thing was going to be a short-lived nickname.
Right.
And
little did she know.
she's wrong.
Yeah, that
I
Kimo
wanted
is
to
practically
name-
famous around here.
My first daughter, Keely.
Yeah.
I just thought I liked the name, and I kind of liked the play on Keely Watts.
Yeah.
But
But
wow, I think everyone was afraid that she would be tormented her whole life, so we just went with Ashley.
Oh,
But we thought about it.
I let you play that out because I didn't want to step on your line, but your grandfather's name is
James.
Oh,
on her
neat.
mother's side.
so it
And then
kind of
her-
worked out.
And then her mom's name is Kim.
Yep.
So it arcs in all directions, So
I've been
it's
called Kimo by tons of people
Tons.
because
Kimo.
they think it's after my mom and it's
okay.
Kimo, and I don't know if they think we're just crazy and that's a cool name, or Kimo sounds kind of weird to me, but I've been called that a lot. I've been called a million things. Kimo, Kiko, Kilo, Momo,
Absolutely.
Miko. They call here and asking for the craziest names at the counter. That girl that starts with a weird name.
I've heard
it's-
Kiko before.
Kiko's popular.
It's hard to voice text you.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
no, that's what I was going to say. Is I switched from Android to iPhone last year, and iPhone will actually pick up KIMO for me for whatever reason. I think it's because you're in my contacts.
Oh, gotcha.
And this, it's the bad kind of chemo. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
CHEMO.
or the good kind if you've got cancer.
And it works. It's just well. There's a
Six.
rabbit
Help
hole,
you.
right?
So
better.
I tell people that all the time when they look at me and they're scared to say chemo sometimes. It throws them off. And I'm like, it's like the cancer, but it's KIMO. Or it's
Right,
like the
right.
therapy,
The
but
treatment,
KIMO. And they're like, okay.
So
they're-
it's a
they're
Hawaiian
like
name.
it's Hawaiian. Yes, it's Hawaiian.
Yeah.
But if I say, it's like kemosabi, I'll say chemotherapy, kemosabi, I try to lighten
Which
it up
is
for them
actually
because they get a little
KE.
nervous
But
that
we
they're
need-
going to say it wrong.
We need to hire more names from more people with names from Hawaiian names, or we just need to make
Aloha,
Exactly.
make you change your name. We got to come up with what is John in Hawaiian,
gosh.
right?
Yeah.
There's a tangent.
Yeah.
So you went from water testing, like I know what you do now. You sell.
Sell no, but I did water testing, and then I did kind of a water test payroll combo.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
A lot of payroll.
Yeah.
And I primarily was doing payroll right before I took my break with Tripp when I had him.
Okay.
I was doing payroll kind of solo. Then I don't know how y'all trusted me.
What happened? Yeah, Deb would have to answer that, I think, because you kind of did that under her.
I did.
Yeah,
I did a lot of. I would come in, write checks, hand them out, all that stuff, and then I look back now and think, God, I was like 23. I felt like a kid back then, kind of, but I did some kind of important things.
Yeah, that's true. So you went to Korea.
And
was that when you?
No, I went to Mount Juliet then.
Oh, okay.
I went to Mount Juliet for a year, and then we moved back here. But I still stayed at home with Tripp and just kind of came up for like open house sales, or like I would even help Deb at that Christmas sale she does,
Yeah, so
I went
Santa
up
Claus
for
thing.
that a couple times, just stuff like that. Till one day I came back through here. I was getting my hair done in Martin, and I'd stop through to see everybody,
Right.
And Cindy's like, "You need to be back to work," and I was like, "Yeah, I do need a little bit of work. Like I don't want to work much,
Right.
like 2 days a week max."
Pulled you in.
She's like, "Yeah, so
2 days a week. That's plenty.
2 days a week," and so I was like, Tuesday, Thursday, 9 to 5. That was what I was going to do. And that was what I was going to do for the duration.
Right. How'd that work out?
That was in 2012.
Right.
So I did that a little while, and then it got more than 2 days a week. I think on the second week, it started more than 2 days a week.
Can't believe that.
But
Didn't last long.
So let's see, 12. So then 12 got, not full time, but then Korea came.
2012 was not quite full time, but that's when you.
I went to Korea in 13.
Korea.
And so my husband started working in Seoul, South Korea in December of 12.
Okay.
Corps of Engineers. He's a big wig in the Corps of Engineers.
Okay.
So
He is.
he's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Very big. We're going to have him on.
How long were you in Korea?
Should. How long? He was there for like about 15, 16 months. Tripp and I went, I stayed here. We went in February and March, and I came back for pool season.
I don't remember stuff like this. Yeah.
I came back for pool season, and it wasn't just for y'all. It was for T-ball as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And preschool graduation.
Well, it sounded better until you brought T-ball up. Right.
T-ball, preschool graduation, and pool season. And then we left back at the end of July or beginning of August because he had to start kindergarten over in Korea. So I stayed for most of the summer, but probably sometime in July we went back, and he did the first half of kindergarten in Seoul, South Korea. We came
neat.
back in December that year. Donnie came home in January or February, and then he started in Memphis, and then I was back here regularly.
That was a fun time, though. You learned a lot about Korea, didn't you?
I loved Korea. I want to go back and visit again. Tripp wants to go back and visit too.
Does he? Does he remember much about it?
He does.
Yeah.
What was the biggest cultural shock?
Just as soon as I got off the airplane, it was like I was in a different world. It was just it was like nothing I'd ever seen or experienced. Their technology was different. Their food was different. Their clothing was different.
Technology more advanced.
Their airport was at the time.
Yeah.
I was in Seoul, which is, the kind of, I guess you'd say, New York City of that. So it was different. They do all kinds of different public transportation, subways, trains, buses. I had to learn to navigate another country that I couldn't speak the language. Didn't have a smartphone because back then it was a little different. I could have, but I was cheap. And so I kept my American phone. It would only work on Wi-Fi. So I don't even know what was wrong with me, why I did that. But I was like winging it out in the streets of another country.
But it was really safe and really clean.
Very safe and clean. So it wasn't like you're going to get off down here and get mugged or anything. It was like me and Tripp traveled literally all over the country solo some days.
What was the most surprising thing about Korea, as Doug calls it, that is a cultural thing here, but is a big cultural thing there? But you're surprised about how much they love what you actually like to do as well.
Okay, the similarities.
Well, I'm thinking of one thing in particular.
Karaoke?
Yeah, right.
Listen, the karaoke there is off the charts. They have these places called Noribongs, and like we could just go right now if we were in Korea or in Seoul anyway, and rent a little room, and they would serve you drinks and these little snacks, and you just karaoke your heart out.
Really?
A private
It's a
karaoke
big thing.
room. So you could have room for like 6 or 8, or you can get big rooms. You know, they'll have a place, and you can just go anytime. Just karaoke. It's a big deal.
We were talking about this yesterday at the pool. Chloe and her boyfriend Aaron, we actually got out and sang karaoke right outside the pool.
Okay.
The afternoon of the 4th, but it was a little bit of a train wreck. You know, the whole world could hear it was bouncing across the water. God love the people out on the boat trying to enjoy themselves. But I was sharing with him my idea, and it sounds like it's been taken, but my idea is one step bigger. All right, just real quick. All right. So you have all of these little, imagine a big square building, and then all around the perimeter are all these karaoke rooms. But out in the middle is a grand stage and a place where people who aren't with a group that want to either listen to karaoke or get in line to sing karaoke can do that up there. But then you've got this producer-like person that's listening in to all the karaoke going around the room, you know, around all these little rooms. And whenever they hear a song where somebody nails it, it's like it's like an audition booth. You can elect not to go and sing if you want to, but you know everybody's in these rooms hoping that they get up on stage, get called up on stage. So that would be an honor of the evening to do that, and in a way that would be a way for Nashville people to listen for voices. So what would your
song be if you were in one of the rooms?
That's a good question, because
you know thought of that yet?
No, because I have a list.
I know you do. You
mentioned your list.
Have you seen? It's ridiculous.
Or a note on your phone.
No, it's on my phone. And
we should do a karaoke podcast, a version of it.
It depends on how my voice is. Like I just was almost speechless a couple of weeks ago, so I had to stay in the Jamie Johnson, Johnny Cash kind of genre there. But anytime I get to do karaoke, I like to stretch. I like Red Clay Strays. There's one little spot that is just a little tough. A little tough. What about yourself?
Well, I like Miranda Lambert karaoke songs. And then I haven't done a lot of it lately, but I have a list as well in my phone.
Do you?
I do. And so I'll do some do you remember Cam Burning House? I like to do that one. So I like to throw some Alanis Morissette sometimes. Some Stevie Nicks. When I was in Korea, tie this back to Korea, I was in a cab I had been karaokeing the night before. I did it a lot over there. And I was really raspy the next day. I guess I'd, had a long evening. And the cab driver said, "Oh, you..." I'm doing his voice. I'm sorry.
You're good.
I don't know if that's appropriate or not, but he's like, "You sound like," and he couldn't remember her name. And he said, "It's a heartache."
Yeah, right,
he sang it. He was trying to, and I was like,
that's so good.
I kind of do sound like that today.
And do they sing a lot of karaoke a lot of American songs?
Yes, it's a mix.
Okay.
Definitely a mix. I love it when they get on a good Korean ballad, but
like when they're singing real Korean
music. But now they have a lot of our songs, especially the pop songs.
But the lead singer of Journey, and I'm sorry, I love Journey.
Oh, but we saw them.
We went to see Journey, and then
with
who was it that sing? Who's the other group that sings? That's the all original that sang Def Leppard. It was Def Leppard.
Okay.
And they were the old originals, and then the Journey opened for Def Leppard. And anytime the singer from, I don't know if he's Korean or what nationality, but anytime he was singing, it was like, all you're doing is you don't even know the words you're singing, man. You're not original. I didn't like it.
You talking about the guy that replaced Steve Perry?
Send all your hate mail to john.watts at alohapoolsusa.com. Yes. The guy who replaced Steve Perry is Asian.
I love him. We
love
saw
the Asian
Toto.
guy?
We saw Toto and Journey
I don't dislike the
like
Asian
2
guy.
years ago,
It's
and
not
he
that.
was
It's-
phenomenal. He sounds better than Steve Perry, I thought.
But
Okay, so
They
I'll say
found
this.
him. He was like
Okay.
homeless. They found him and replaced.
No shade against any Korean karaoke stars, but
no shade
they are
intended.
very good imitators.
That's what I'm saying, and it sounds like to me. And I'm.
You thought he was
this-
trying too
you're
hard
probably
to
gonna-
imitate.
You're probably. This is going to sound horrible, I know, but if you're listening to, I don't know the name of the song, but it doesn't even have to be the words. It's just
Right.
like Steve Perry. I don't understand the words that when Steve Perry sings it, much less this guy. So I'm just. You're just making these sounds.
I
here,
kinda wanna
and
pause.
It meant absolutely nothing to me.
I want to pause and play a clip of the old Journey and then
Okay.
the new Journey.
By all means.
And then you tell us what you think. Or I'm looking at the monitor instead of the camera. You
Right.
tell us what you think, because I think the guy's phenomenal.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere.
Hey, okay, and then to contrast this, the dude from Def Leppard, he gets his 70-year-old butt up there, all Def Leppard-y looking like he never got his. He's still, I think, pretty sure he was still kind of rocking the whole look, and he sang his butt off 3 nights in a row, and we were on the 3rd night, and he made it like 2/3 through the way, through the concert before he was starting to change his keys and all that, but he was killing it, and I had so much more respect for that. And it was so good. Just watching that.
What year was this?
This is just a year or so ago in Colorado. We were at a business
Okay.
thing,
Huh.
and they played at the baseball stadium within the last 2 years.
He had so much energy when we saw him, and he was running around. The
Steve Perry?
No, the
The
guy that
replacement.
replaced. I
He's
don't
got a
know
lot
his
of
name, but the
energy.
guy
My
that
God,
replaced.
he's 30 years old or something.
phenomenal.
He's phenomenal, but he's not the dude, and he's
Yeah.
not the dude. And for all I know,
Huh.
he is just hearing the sound. He's not even saying the words. He sure doesn't know what the
I
words
thought he
mean.
was singing the word.
Maybe.
Singing.
I don't know. I'm so
I said
sorry.
singing.
Nope.
I had to get
I'm
that
in.
off my chest.
I like the old stuff. I wouldn't like the replacement either. I'm
You
not into
could
the
barely
imitators.
even tell the difference.
I would tell
No,
the
you
difference.
Like
could
he's
not.
that good.
That's what made it so. That's what made it so unauthentic.
It's because when you're
he
seeing
was-
him, you couldn't. It was hard to because
It's
at
not
first.
His, to me, it's not his band anymore. It's
Right.
not his band. He's just doing he's making the sound. He's mimicking. He doesn't even know the words he's saying.
What
there.
if he gets
I
really
have
mad
said
at
it.
us and like our podcast goes like super viral because we're in beef with him now?
Oh no!
Yes,
we're
yes,
gonna
we're
get
gonna-
front row
I'm sure
tickets
Journey-
to a show I don't even want to see.
Yeah.
Yes,
he's
Journey
gonna
is
be like,
going to
"These
see this."
people at Aloha.
Right,
You know.
the Journey haters.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm never buy a pool from a
We
Journey
saw-
hater.
We saw Toto with him, and the thing with Toto is they're like 113 years old now. So
Yeah.
like seeing them, they look like at any moment I was like, come on, guys! Like it was great. It was a good performance, but I was like, man, it's getting late. Are you guys?
Should be going home.
Yeah.
Billy Joel. Chloe and I saw Billy Joel.
I remember y'all did
Right
that.
before, it was twice, I think, and we missed the first half. But the first, and so we went to see him again. It was amazing. But the same thing, and the sax guy was in his 70s, and he did the big solo, the big sax solo, and everything, and all the young people were just cheering him on and everything, and thinking like, wow, he really needs my support. I mean, it felt more like that.
He had to take a hit of oxygen and then hit the sax.
Then but he was really great.
Yeah.
He was really great, but the vibe was more like, oh, good job, instead of just eating it up. I don't know. It's so impressive though that Billy Joel was able to pull it off, and all of his people were there, and then they would get on they'd get on the subway or however they got back over to New Jersey. You know, every night. He did it like once a month for a while. Anyway,
I saw Huey Lewis, and it was getting late. It was like 9:00, and he stops the concert. He looks down. He goes, "All right, I don't know. It's starting to get late. I'm usually in bed by this time, but I guess we'll sing a few more for
That's
you."
good.
He
That's
was
good.
great. Yeah,
He was owning it,
He was
right.
phenomenal.
yeah, that's good. Anyway,
Saw him at Paducah.
wow, that was quite the tangent.
Didn't mean to, get off, but
I don't mind. I love talking about music.
I love the karaoke. I was thinking, how neat would it be if you have the same kind of concept, but every now and then you would, in the middle, instead of a stage, you just had a big monitor with the music, and every so often you just flip the switch and turn a different room on that was spotlighted for everybody. Whoever was even in the middle, then boom, and whoever was doing a good job, you know.
Who would be the watchers of this, though? Because, you know, when we get on our karaoke tangent, sometimes I think people are thinking, golly, you know,
Right.
y'all just
I know what you mean.
push. But I
don't
mean,
know.
I like to watch it.
Karaoke has its own following, its own. It's a hobby like anything else. There are people that do the circuit, and the way I know this is if you go over to Southern State in South Fulton on Friday night, there are people who take it very seriously, and they get up there every week, and they're. I almost didn't want to interrupt the flow. I was going to get up and sing, but I need more people. Like it was just my wife and I was thinking about singing, and
We did that one night. We did that one night at Southern States, and it was probably the Friday night thing. And it was me, I'll sing a karaoke song, and Chloe, who will also sing, and Molly, and then I think Cindy will, you know, to make sure Earl dies a timely death. Earl had to die, and so, but us getting up there, we were putting our names up there, and then sometimes we would get lapped.
yeah,
Like same dude would be up there twice because we were kind of in their show. It's a tight knit group of people there, and that's what they do. And so, and that's not just it's a lot of places that, you know, the regulars show up. And,
That happened to you at Sadler's one night when we were there.
yeah,
And you had to, you remember, I got to go twice and you hadn't
I have
gone
no
yet.
doubt.
And
Oh
you
my
were
gosh,
like,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah, like what's up with you know what's up with Kimo there? You know, how'd she get to go twice? Yeah.
Remember that?
And we were talking the other day, and we'll move on to more about chemo in a second. But Chloe and I, you know how we used to go to functions at Aloha functions at Discovery Park, we'll say, and they'd just shut it down, and then we'd go to Sadler's afterwards. So, and all of a sudden, the group would go to Sadler's, and that's where they would sing karaoke. Well, Chloe and I went to a songwriters thing. I don't think Cindy was not in town for whatever the reason was, and Chloe and I went over to Sadler's afterwards. And you were there, and some friends were over there, and I sang the bartender song.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I nailed that song.
You did
Which
do well.
bartender
In my
song?
mind, the bartender song. Bartender, I really did it this time. Broke my parole to have a good time.
Oh, that one. Okay.
yeah, you heard that?
Well, yes, I am familiar with. I was also thinking of T.I. I'm in love with the bartender.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't heard that.
It's a different. It's
Totally
a different
different
genre
vibe.
altogether.
but
I'm a little
the-
more R&B rap.
Out of 20 times me singing that song, one time I felt like I did that. Otherwise,
I
it's
think
that
I have it on
pitch that I don't
video.
have. Well, I mean, probably not.
You probably don't want to see it. It
Probably
might
don't
kill
want to sing it
your,
on here.
you know,
My
memory.
impression, my memory of it was I nailed it, you know. And Chloe, when I was telling her that the other day, to her and Aaron, she said, "Yeah." So I'm not so sure I killed it.
No, you
really.
did. I thought you did good.
Now we do a summer party with Aloha, and there's karaoke at that.
A lot of times
Oh,
there is.
yeah. Most
And-
of the time.
Is what I've
It's not
seen.
every time.
I've not experienced it yet because I've not been here quite a full year. So I am excited for that.
Oh yeah.
But I think we should roll tape and do a special edition of the podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, just do all
Yeah.
all
I don't
Aloha.
Critique
I'm
the
thinking my voice will be good that
karaoke.
night. Though.
Like rate each person on the podcast. Like, well, they really, you know, blew it out of the water, or we're gonna do that on a podcast.
That scares the crap out of me. I think I'm gonna not play along on that
Okay.
one.
or just tell me no. You know.
So all right. So back to chemo.
Yeah.
When's the first time you got the opportunity to sell? And do you remember your first project that you sold?
I remember my first in-ground pool that I sold.
Okay.
I think the first above ground pool I sold was accidental. I think nobody like the salespeople were busy and somebody drifted back like to water tests, and I ended up like, hey, these people want to buy a pool, and kind of accidentally sold it above ground and maybe a couple hot tubs that way. But my first in-ground was Donnie Walton.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
He was my first in-ground. And my second one was a pool in Dyersburg for Mark Edmondson. So I remember those two.
Huh.
And I remember going to the job site on the second one in Dyersburg, because I'm from Dyersburg, and looking at the pool as it was progressing and almost finished. And I was like, oh my gosh, I sold them this. Like I sold this to them. Like, how did that, and it worked out like it's supposed to, and it's the real pool in somebody's yard. It was, I remember being really impressed with, I don't know what I thought was going to be back there, but I remember being so amazed after I saw that one, because maybe I wasn't on Donnie's project as much. Maybe, since it's my first one, you were probably out there or something, but I remember going by that Dyersburg one a lot, my second one, and really being like, wow, I can't believe I did that.
So what did that do? What did that do for you?
It gave me a lot of confidence. It gave me like, okay, I can do this. Like I sold them this. The people took what I put on the paper, built it in the yard. The vision came together.
Right.
So like, I can actually do this.
Yeah.
I remember thinking
confidence,
that. Yeah,
maybe a little excitement.
And I was young. I mean, it was before I did the hiatus and came back. I mean, I was in my early 20s.
Okay.
So I got pushed into sales full time one day when someone here closed the store down early on a Saturday, if you recall.
Oh, God.
And
God rest his soul.
Actually, I think.
Yeah.
But you called me, and I was driving.
I didn't do anything.
No, you didn't have anything to do with that. But I was driving from Nashville to Paducah, and you called me and you said, "You ready?" And I'm like, "For what?"
For what?
You're like, I just, let somebody go and you're up. Because I'd been kind of doing like, some sales.
Right.
But I wasn't like fully in sales. So I was like, okay. And so I was going to be like, I guess the number 2, salesperson then. So, but I mean, I'd been doing a few in-grounds, a few above-grounds, hot tubs. I had probably, I don't know if I'd gone to Hot Springs class yet. But if I hadn't, I went shortly after that.
Right.
And went and got a little training. I remember Andy and I went to Memphis for some training.
Yeah.
He rode with me, and my seat in my car was never the same again after that.
Sunburn.
On fire and sunny. I strapped Andy in over there, and I don't know what he did, but everybody that rode in the car after that was like on a roller coaster ride. It never locked in place again. Yeah. But we went down to Memphis and got some training, and like maybe in March or April that year. So that was probably 05
Right.
or so.
I don't remember.
05, 06 at the latest.
Well, that would make a little bit of sense, because Eminem, who's no longer with us, was that sounds all about in that time frame.
05, 06 for sure. And I graduated. Well, it could have been. No, let's see here. I may be off a year. I wasn't full time in sales till 06.
Yeah.
And then I graduated college that same year.
And then you got your degree to sell pools. You came
Got
back
my
and
pool
sold
selling
pools,
degree.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never missed a day.
Have you stayed? Have you stayed here since 2006 or?
No, I took the break from 8 to 12.
What'd you do?
I had a baby.
Oh,
Okay.
well, that's an
right.
excuse.
Well,
we'll accept that.
Okay,
Yeah.
my timeline is
Yeah,
all
his
messed up.
timeline's a little off, but I took the break from 08 till 12, and I came back in 12. And I've been here ever since 12, except like the 2 months in the fall that I did the Korea thing.
Right. My memory of that day that she's talking about is very vivid. At least the parts that she just said. Other than that, I remember nothing about that day. I'm sorry. There's a lot of stuff going through my mind, and when I say through my mind, it just comes.
Just telling me that day.
Through
Do you
my
remember?
mind.
I was headed to work at Paducah. I was working for Deb that day,
Okay.
and
Right.
the day that I got put in sales full time.
And we didn't separate until 2016.
The
Until
stores.
January 1 of 2016, we were Jackson, Paducah, Union City, and Jonesboro and Cape Girardeau, right? And then when we separated, we had Paducah removed and Jackson removed and kept Cape Girardeau, Jonesboro, and Union City. So that's kind of how that's split up.
So I did a little bit at Paducah back then.
Right.
A little bit at Jackson occasionally, like just barely. I did a few. I worked more for him on like expos and
Yeah.
some parking lot sales and stuff. But I did do some Deb stuff up there quite a bit
Right.
before the split. So I have experience. And then I used to work the Jonesboro territory before there was a store there.
Okay.
I would take my Fridays and go do calls in Jonesboro, and Andy and I
really?
would alternate.
Huh.
And I
don't
enjoyed.
remember
It was, what year did we get at Jonesboro?
About 13 or 14. 14, I think we opened, but we started actively pursuing it in 2013. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would go to Jonesboro on Fridays and run appointments back before we had a store.
Have you ever thought about how many of each category you've sold in your lifetime of being a pool salesperson?
I have before. I had a number in my head at one time. I mean, it's thousands.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's thousands of pools. I mean, I've sold as many as in the 90s of above ground pools in a year before.
Right.
I've sold as many as in the 70s of in-ground pools just in a couple years.
Not in 1 year, but
Oh, no, I have.
and you've sold 70.
It was
In 1 year?
between 65 and 72, somewhere in that range.
That was probably in
COVID.
the pandemic.
Yes, pandemic years.
Yep. Yep.
Those were my highest years. But now a typical in-ground year for me was not that.
Yeah, it's a wonder that you have any sanity left.
I
If
don't.
She sells 70 in-ground pools in a year, and then you had to have sold probably 80 or 90 above ground
I
pools
did
in
that.
a year, and
It
however many hot
about
tubs.
it was years.
It'll drive you nuts. And then if there's any dysfunction in any other department that supports the sales, and there's been plenty of that. In the pandemic, it was it's hard for me to say no. So we had a lot of growth. It's hard for me to turn business away. So we figured out how to grow, and so in that process, it probably wasn't as responsible.
It was some rough years.
as it it could have been. We couldn't get product sometimes we get product that didn't work, and sometimes
Those
we
salt
just couldn't
systems.
get product, so we'd have to trip. Right, and so
During that, I remember somewhere around there, I think it was 21 or 22, there was that remember that tanker or carrier ship or whatever that blocked
Yep.
the canal. And so everything coming from overseas, like you couldn't get product of
I remember
all
that.
these different types. And I would imagine some things like some of the
yeah. I know. Now that you say that, I remember that.
yeah for
I had
almost
forgotten
a
about I
year,
repressed it.
everything was backed up.
Right.
So it was hard to get product, even at the store I owned.
I remember talking to fiberglass customers and it being like, yeah, and saying, okay, well, this is going to be a minimum of 6 months before it can ship, and it's probably going to be more like 8 to 9. And people are like, okay. Like if I told somebody that like 2 years prior or even today, they'd be like, what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And actually, Latham, the fiberglass manufacturer, actually created this shelf that had all these little boxes of pools about this big, and they still have it a little bit, but it was joked in throughout our buying group in the text channel that we have, that people would come up and they would set one of these on the counter, and say, "I want one of these in blue."
Yeah.
Just say how much is it, didn't ask how much it was, just kind of got the bill right there.
It was more
it
like-
was almost like that.
People trying to get on my list. I'm not saying I was the greatest salesperson in the world back then. You didn't have to be that great of a salesperson in those years. Now, you needed to have some experience to be able to deal with it, but that was like order taking kind of.
Yeah, it was, and we've always been concerned that since then that salespeople forgot how to sell and forgot that sometimes that you got to care for people, and I think we had never really lost that. I think basically what it was, there was just too many people in your face for you to take care of, to give the care that it was deserved. It's
wild.
not
It was a
just
wild
us.
time.
It was boat companies. It was,
It was.
other pool companies. It was camper companies. It was just it's one of those things. It's nice to have gone through, just because you get a different perspective of how the world can react to something like a pandemic, and not even knowing what a pandemic really was before it happened, and then you come out on the other side of it thinking, well, it's nice to be able to get product, that works,
Right.
And prices have stabilized and all, which makes it a good buying environment now for anybody that wants to buy a pool. So,
And it wasn't just 2020; it was 2021, and it trickled a little into 22. I would say
100% all
Yeah.
the way through 22.
Yeah.
And I think if you start looking at our numbers, I think 23 was when it started to pull
like
back.
the first normal year again.
Yeah, no. In fact, I looked at it the other day. It was normal. It was the old normal, right? Yeah,
Right.
for sure. And so now,
So I've survived pool selling through my young 20s, having
Right.
a child, then getting into the pandemic, and still selling some pools now.
Out of all the things you've done here, is sales the most fun? Is that what you enjoy? Take money away. What's the most fun thing you've done here?
That is a good question.
Thanks. I'm good at this. I'm just playing.
Selling a pool and the family being so excited and saying, "Oh, we're doing," like I saw a picture for the 4th of a pool I sold, and it was full of people,
Yeah.
and the caption was "Full pool equals happy family," and I was like, "Oh, I
that's
love
good.
that," and
I
I
wanna
sold
steal
them
that.
that, and or maybe it was "Full pool equals full heart." Even I think it was something like that,
even
and I was
fuller.
like, it was like so nice. So that is awesome and fun. That is the most rewarding part. But honestly, the most fun part is water test for me, and the immediate. It's a more immediate gratification. Like they came in, their pool's jacked up. You get it fixed. Like it's a quick high. I guess it's a little dopamine rush that you got it done that quick. And it used to be fun. And I was younger when I did this too, and it was busy, and you were hustling, and you just slinging stuff out of here,
Right.
and like that was fun.
Yeah.
Much like if you ever talk to anybody that's in the restaurant business, at the end of a busy night, they're all jacked up. And I've seen the girls out here at the front. That's that way when it's a busy
It's like
day.
open house when it's so
Yeah.
busy, or just like a busy Saturday or Friday, and you just worked your tail off, and you made so many people happy in one day.
Nothing's worse than a slow day.
Yeah.
Slow
It's
days
funny
last forever. I like having projects and things and stuff hadn't
That's the thing.
all the time.
You have a lot of slow days here, don't you?
Yeah.
Stays busy over here in the old marketing department.
But I really
Just
do.
read my ideas. It's busy.
Yeah.
Full-time
I guarantee
It's
job.
an endless flow.
I really do, though. I love when I see people post their pools on Facebook. I see it a lot.
Yeah.
Like their feet by their pool, enjoying a day at home.
The old toe picture,
The toe
right.
picture. I love a good toe picture by a pool. The beach gets a lot of those, but I like it when the pool gets one.
Of course.
And I've got a few people around here that I can always, rely on for a good toe by the pool picture,
Right.
like how my day's going. And I
Right.
love it. And it's not just the in-ground people. I love a above-ground pool full of kids, family, toes, girls' days.
Right.
I like all my customers. Hot tubs, I love it when I see people in the hot tub having.
Right.
They'll post that. They'll post the lights. They'll post my night.
For me, trying to post those pictures, I instead of nobody wants to see feet, so I just figured legs would be, you see, and so since nobody wants to see my legs either, I just got 2 hot dogs
I was gonna say hot dogs.
and just take the pictures like that,
There you go. Not weird at all. But hey, that thing that we did this weekend. Did you see the flag thing? Everybody is going
Yes,
by. Everybody,
yes.
the people went viral,
people
and
that
now
went up
everybody's
on the
making their own
thing,
message
yeah.
on the flag. So I told John on Saturday, it's like, I know it's the 4th of July, but if we don't do this now, it's going to be
It'll be
old
old
by
news,
Monday.
yeah.
And so he got one up, but I sent. I can't tell you how many to the marketing thread about different ones.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm trying to think. My favorite one was, if you go to the beach and hang out by the pool, come see us when you get back. because you know how many people will go to the beach, but they stay at the pool.
I do it
Oh
now.
yeah.
We do.
I used to not. I used to stay on the beach. You couldn't pry me off the beach.
Right.
I was going to get burnt. I was getting all the sand, and now I'm like, oh, sand, you
Right.
know?
Like Anakin.
I don't like sand.
And I'd rather sit by the pool. I like to see the beach out there.
Exactly. As it, you still
But-
get the view.
Star Wars reference
But I'm a pool. I've been converted
for them.
You've been converted to a pool.
to a pool person, even on vacation now.
Yeah. No, and it's not that we won't go to the beach ever. We will always, whenever we go, we kind of split our time with the beach and the beach is right there, and you can a lot of times you can go down in the water if the sand is nice and get cool off and all. But the pool is always always a safer.
It's something about the older I get too, and I'm not that old yet, but I mean, you
Yeah,
can
but you're
see
a
what's-
grandmother. I'm
am.
not even old enough to be
Wow.
a grandfather yet.
I beat you.
Right, I know. I'm jealous too. Guys, she's got this beautiful little baby girl, Vivian. What you going? Y'all calling her Vivi?
Vivian. I change up Vivi girl, but I call her Viv a lot.
Oh my God, it's like holding a little doll that's made to look like Kimo.
Yeah.
And I know the other side
Aw.
of the family may say, no, that looks exactly like whoever. But
And
no,
she
it's-
does look like her mom said, but her other grandmother said to me the other day, I say sometimes she looks just like Kimo.
Yeah,
and so I was
right.
like, God,
Vivo.
They've marked their family. Doug marked his family up all the way
He
down.
did.
That's for sure. Yeah.
yeah, my son looks like my dad.
Yeah.
And
Oh, for sure.
so it's you probably see that some. Do you see Trip looking like Dad?
100%.
Yeah.
No, it's not even
'Cause
some.
you
It's
knew
not even
him at
some.
that
no, it's just
age.
he is Doug. He's Doug
Yeah.
made over. But I can also see you and Donnie
Mm-hmm.
making a kid, and his name's Trip. And I mean, because I can see Donnie as well. So
Some
yeah.
people say that, and I've rejected that idea, but someone said it just the other day. They saw a picture of Donnie on the wall at his dad's from when he was 17. They're like, he looks so much like Trip. I'm like, yeah, you just don't know what I
Well,
look like.
But I know it's that whole Shonda's family says that Chloe looks just like and that side. And while she does, also there's so much cook in Chloe.
There's some cook in Chloe.
Yeah, and the same thing with everybody says Case looks just like you. Well, I can see the other family in Case.
My
as
mom
well, so.
thinks Case looks just like you because she knew you as a younger
Yeah.
man. She's
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
oh my gosh, that's Brad.
Exactly.
But I'll say this is a sweet thing from your mom / my grandmother. And she had some memory issues later in her life.
Right.
But Chloe was walking through the room and she looked at me and she said, that little girl reminds me of Kimo.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So
Yeah,
I was
the
like-
whole family's kind of arcs over a little bit. Katie and Case look alike.
do.
Dennis's daughter, Katie, looks a lot like Case. Yeah.
Well, Kristen thinks that Vivian looks like her. She
Looks like
messaged me the
her.
other day. She's like, I think she looks like
wishes,
me.
right? No, I can see that though.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of crossover from all the siblings.
Everybody says the cooks are, very branded.
Got a certain mark on them. Yeah, for sure.
My
for sure.
phone thinks a lot of pictures of you are my grandfather.
Oh,
Of
Poppy.
Poppy.
Oh, really?
'Cause I was looking through pictures
Nice.
the other day to post for Father's Day, and I looked at under his name, and
Yeah.
there a lot of them were you, and I'm like, psh.
That dude. That dude, something else.
Character.
Love him to absolute death. He could be on here. We wouldn't get a word in.
So now I need all the family photos so
Mm-hmm.
that every time we mention a name, I can put them up near each other.
Need that one
That
of
would
John
probably take me
W.
hours.
Need that one of John W. talking at Dennis's store in his black shirt and going on and on right there. I still see that and I cry. It's so good. I remember we were in Florida last year on Father's Day. Weather was a long story, and I was sitting out in the parking lot while Cindy was going into Publix. I was sitting out there and I was watching that the Dennis had posted it. And she got in the truck and it's like, "What are you doing?" And she saw that, and I was just rolling. Good stuff. Good stuff.
My granddaddy was a
the guy.
talker.
He was a good dude. I had good upbringing. But so here you are, 20-something, almost
23
20 years.
since the start,
Okay.
but mine is 4 years and 4 months.
What's next?
Figured I'd be owning this place by now, but
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
That's not working out too well, is it?
Here You're still here.
No, I know it. I'm 60, and I feel like I'm probably going to retire when I'm 90.
That's what I
and then
figured. I'm
probably
gonna
go-
retire before you.
I'm probably going to start, seeing things, see the world a little
Then
bit.
we could just concentrate on the podcast then when you're 90.
When I'm 90,
we could
yeah.
just
That's what I'll probably do.
we could just do
You're
this
never
full
gonna
time.
retire. That's okay though.
I'm looking. I'd like to see what 70 looks like.
Yeah.
And I know 70. I don't want to speed the last 10 years up, because I've seen people. Somebody we know that used to sell us chemicals posted, "Well, I'm retiring at 72," and she was like 69, late 69, and 72 just came around just like that, And guess what? She wasn't retiring.
She's still working.
And she's still
as far as I
working now.
know.
Yeah. And that was several years ago. and I don't know that it's out of necessity or not, but it's like, what are you going to do? For me, you know what I need? I need
more than most humans, though.
I do.
It's an insane thing what you need to keep busy.
Did you know Harry Gorman? Remember Harry Gorman used to own the store Libby's in Union City?
Kind of, yeah.
He was 94, still working at the radio station doing sales.
Really?
He when he sold the store, I think he went home, and stayed there for a month or so with his wife, and then came up and came to the station and was like, "Listen, I can't. I gotta be working. I gotta be doing something." And said, "Can I do sales? I know everybody."
Right.
And so he worked there for years. Had a whole nother career. 94. Right. I think I could see you know.
I'll say this. If I go home and I sit down and Cindy says, "Hey, I'll be the hell out of there."
Yeah, I got work to do.
I'm not going to go retire and sit home so she can tell me what I'm going to do. I'm not doing that. I'll just do this. I'll go wreak havoc somewhere on something.
Yeah.
Not going to do that.
No, you're not.
Yeah, if I need a chore and I'm thinking about something to do, all I got to do is sit down. And then I get one. Yeah, it's easy. Love you, honey.
Use the line that Donnie uses. He'll say, "Don't task me."
Task me.
Don't task me.
I like
I
that.
don't get to task him with things.
No, well, yes. I'm going to get a T-shirt that says that when I walk in at night.
That's why my lawn stays so impeccable. You got to go out there and
Right.
you sit down and you get tasked.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, you know what? I gotta go mow.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
Let me get my
paint this-
scissors.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Speaking from the female perspective on y'all.
Oh my
Here we
God.
I know. Y'all go do tasks that we don't deem that necessary. And we have a list of tasks that we feel
dare you.
are necessary. And y'all, it's like,
That stupid list? Yeah.
yeah, y'all go do stuff that we think y'all are doing a stupid list.
Whatever.
And so it's like, oh, let's go change this light bulb that's been out for 10 years back here right now.
Are
when
you
I
living
need
without
you
it? You have been
to-
living without it for 10 years and you think it needs to be changed?
No,
See,
y'all
that's
do.
what's the stupid- who's the
y'all
stupid
do.
list?
Y'all think it needs to be changed right then, rather than take this garbage
Oh,
here,
all right.
or
I'm
y'all
reverse
go
there.
y'all go find a task that I'm like, well, that was dumb.
See, I got a touch of ADHD though.
I do
When
too.
I'm like, okay, I gotta go. We're gonna go clip the hedges. Where are the hedge clippers? Okay, I think they're in that drawer in the garage. Or I go out there and then I see, oh, this hinge is loose. Okay, I need to do that. Where the screwdriver's inside, I'm gonna go in there and this light flicks, and
see.
I better change that light. And you just keep
That's
coming
That's
up
the
with
story
new
of my
little,
whole life.
and so you're just kind of walking around from task to task, and then you realize, now it's time for me to
No,
you know.
you got nothing done. I do
Yeah.
that.
That's
I
the
do
story of
that.
my life.
I saw a video on that on Instagram. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is exactly what I do.
Yeah.
So-
That's be a man thing or
No, it's a thing I do too. But the other day I was trying to okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm cleaning the kitchen, and this stuff that doesn't stay in the kitchen, I just pile it up at the end of the bar now, and then when I'm done with the kitchen, go take it and put it in the places. Because if you take it one thing at a time, then now you're
Something-
stuck in the
You
other
get-
room
yeah.
doing
and there's a
something else.
distraction.
Yeah, so I've learned when you're doing the task, don't leave the room you're doing the task in.
And that worked well.
It worked. I was like, dang,
Okay.
I got the kitchen cleaned.
Maybe what's next for Kimo is she does a podcast trying to help women and men stay
Right.
on task.
The
Yeah.
psychology
Things
can
like-
come back. See how
Psychology
we
is coming
came
back.
all the way full circle back to that.
Come back.
Task hacking.
One of my professors came in here one day to get something, and they said, "What are you doing here?" I said,
Sorry to snort.
"I work here," and they're like, "Why?" You're
about
not using your psychology degree?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
you're about 4 minutes from beating your dad's record on the length of the podcast.
Listen, that is shocking to me.
It is a little shocking, but
because my dad can talk.
Yeah, he's a super talker. Yeah, but that drives me crazy when people used to be, when we were in Troy, especially, a dude would come in August and say, "Hey man, I got another job," and I said, "What's up, man? I thought was this thing here," and he said, "My wife wanted me to get a real job." I'm like, my God,
Oh, real job.
yeah, like, is this not a real job? And I understand what was happening, but now it's a real job. I mean, people want to work here, and people can, as they get on here, they've done something. I think I don't know.
People do not understand though. I think that how hard working at a pool place can be. Somebody used to joke with me when I was younger, like, "Oh, are you going to blow up floaties today?"
All right.
They think it's just like a pool party here all the time,
Right.
and it's so fun, and it is fun, but it is real work. I mean, it is making sure that. I mean, it's a construction project being built in someone's yard. I mean, you gotta,
People ask me, "What do you
skills.
do at Aloha?" I say, "I'm a lifeguard for the hot tubs."
I like that.
So
Do you know?
no, I've never said that, but
Right.
you know,
You just made that up, didn't you? Just now on
I
the spot
did.
too. How'd it land?
it was okay. You
think so?
It reminded me of the old. What I was thinking of was the Jim Carrey skit on SNL where he's the lifeguard and he's screaming through the megaphone at
Right.
Tim Meadows, who's swimming back and forth laps
And it's
in the
really,
hot
really
tub.
close. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so.
Yeah. Good stuff. Can't end on that though.
No, I
No.
mean, well, the whole thing, okay, if you go from front to back, it was water test and payroll, sales, take a break, come back in sales, work my way. And then, okay, so I came back at like the number 2 sales slot, and then one day Andy left for a while. And then all of a sudden I was number 1 sales,
Right.
so I went from kind of part/full time to for real full time. It
Right.
was like 25 to 40 hours up to, and then it went from 40 to 70 hours, for a while
Right.
or whatever. It went, super full time. So that was in 2015 when I
Super
went to
full-time.
super full time to number 1 salesperson of Union City. And so then that was mid to late year 15 pool season. So that's when I really started racking up the pool numbers.
Right.
So prior to that, my in-ground sales had been like about 20 a year.
Yeah.
From like 13 or so, 2013 to then. And then it ramped up into, so I didn't go from like 20 to 70 in a year.
Right.
It was a,
And as I think of it, she's probably sold more products, more big ticket products out of the store than anybody else in our history because she sells above ground pools, hot tubs, semi in ground pools, and in grounds. And typically anybody like Chase is that guy this year because he sells every category. Somebody like Renee, she sticks to mostly. She's actually sold some above ground pools and some hot tubs this year.
I'm your
and
least
some semi.
snobby, old school in-ground salesperson.
So some people get stuck on one category.
Yeah, I think so. It like
They do.
like and because if you sell a $8,000 above ground pool, sometimes the questions and the it's still a pool and that
Still a
customer
project.
is just
It's still a
important,
construction
just as
project.
important as a $100,000 pool. And
It'll
they
take
deserve-
just as much work sometimes.
So sometimes it does. And it's not as much, but proportionately, if you times that by 10 to get to a $100,000 pool, some salespeople would just rather sell one $100,000 pool instead
Makes
of.
sense.
And Kimo's always been.
I've
the one to
always
get in
sold
there and
everything. I like all the people.
Yeah.
I'm just a people person. I want to hear about your recent divorce and that sucker that just did you wrong and you're buying this pool and you're getting back at him. And, I want to hear about everything from everybody from A to Z, like the grandparents and they've retired and they're getting this for their grandchildren.
Right.
I want to hear about all the stories, all the people.
And she knows so many people.
I do.
Like when I got stopped by a state trooper in Kenton one day, and he looked at my license and said, "You're not Kimo's uncle, are you?"
That's funny.
I said, "Yes." It's what?
Will that help me?
Should
or-
I? Wait a second. What are we doing? How should I say that? Right. But anyway, it helped me. And he got me. I got off with a warning. So if you know Kimo, just remember to drop the
Depends
name.
on the trooper.
Right. I would say that might be.
I
the case
used
as
to
well.
get a lot of speeding tickets. I went to court over in Weakley County one day.
Right.
And the judge all these people kept going up and saying, he was like, have you ever had a ticket? And they were like, no. And I was like, are all these people lying?
Right.
Or do they mean in this town or in this county? So I go up and he's like, have you ever had a ticket before? And I said, you mean in this county?
Right.
And he said, no, I mean in this universe. And I was like, yes, I have.
Was that Judge Moore?
It was.
Yeah.
I was like, yep, I've had a few in this universe.
As a matter of fact. Right.
I got pulled over 2 different times in this parking lot.
Oh, really?
In the
Yeah.
parking lot?
In the parking, like I wasn't driving, like
Right.
they were following me, and I got pulled over in the parking lot. Once when I was expecting Trip in 2007, the last, before I took the 4-year hiatus, and then once about 5 years ago. And both times I've come back into the store and everybody's like, clapping and.
But it's not just troopers that know her. It's like if I'm in Dyersburg, I am no better than Kimo's uncle, at best. But I could be like somewhere in Missouri or whatever, and just start going, Kimo? It's Kimo. Are you related to Kimo? So anyway,
It's part of the name thing, the Kimo
I think
sticks
so. Yeah.
with people, and Kimo, Aloha, it's kind of a vibe.
Yeah, and I guess your touch points from all the people that you know in your personal life, and then
And all my pool customers.
business life, right? All your
Like if you take all my Dyersburg associates combined with, I went to UT Martin, so you've got, I've got some
that's it.
people that direction, and then all the pool customers over the years that have spread out in these areas. I mean, I got some.
So
folks.
you should reach
When I
out to
run
all
for
of them
office,
to watch this.
Right.
They'll see. I'll
We'll
share it
see.
on my Facebook. My people will
Let's
see
go.
this.
This one is this one is going to go big time.
gonna
This
put
is
y'all
going
on
to put
the
us on the
map.
map. That's right.
There we go.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you're here. We tried to do it ourselves, and then we just couldn't do it. So thank
gonna
God
launch.
we finally made it. Yeah, and don't think that we won't forget about you as soon as we go viral.
I already know.
Yeah, I know. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I love you.
Thank y'all for having me. Love you too.
Yeah, you will always be special to me. And John, not so much. But
What did I do?
I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll do some more. We'll figure something
You
out.
know what? That's it.
He
I'm
doesn't
going to
eat
end it
Christmas
right
dinner
here.
with us, so he's not on the list yet.
Right. That's right.
It's okay.
And that concludes another edition of the Aloha Pools and Spas Deep Dive Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, leave comments below, etc., etc. And most of all, dive safely.